Hey, Carmen, welcome to our second podcast tonight. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. So let's start out with some questions around Netezza Performance Server. I see the topic you want to cover today is, again, Netezza Performance Server. Now, I remember Netezza was that wildly popular high-performance data warehouse appliance that IBM has been selling for years. I thought that product line is going away, and I've even heard people say that it's dead. Now, some people are saying it's back. So can you tell us exactly what's going on?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tony, and one that I'll be very happy to answer. So, no, Netezza isn't dead. It's very much alive and well. We've actually launched Netezza Performance Server summer of last year, so about 10, 11 months ago now. And this is our next step, essentially, in the evolution of Netezza. So while you're right, the older generation Netezza appliances have been reaching or are approaching end of support. But the Netezza that thousands and thousands of our customers have been using and loving for many years isn't gone. They can actually very easily upgrade from their legacy Netezza appliances over to this newest generation of Netezza, which we're calling Netezza Performance Server.
Well, that's great news. So if you have to say just one thing, what is the most important thing with Netezza Performance Server that our customers should know about?
The most important thing to note is that, and I can't stress enough, is that Netezza Performance Server is Netezza, is Netezza, is Netezza. Code-based interoperability is the number one thing that many of our older generation Netezza customers care the most about. It's usually the first question that I get asked about. Is this new thing absolutely 100% compatible with my legacy Netezza appliances? And the answer to that question is yes. It has the exact same Netezza code base, same NPS engine. It's 100% compatible with Netezza, to the point that saying that it's 100% compatible almost feels moot because simply put, Netezza Performance Server is Netezza. And I think it's important also for our customers to understand that Netezza Performance Server is really the only one in the market that is fully compatible with Netezza, meaning Netezza Performance Server is the only solution that can provide them a completely risk-free, zero change upgrade path from Netezza. So same code, no modifications, all the ETL and BI tools that they've been using in their existing Netezza would integrate and work just the same when they upgrade to Netezza Performance Server.
Well, that's good. So what does the migration effort like for a Netezza customer to upgrade to NPS? And is it very complex and how long does it take?
So you probably heard me say it that it's an upgrade and not a migration. And I use that word because that's what it is. This is an upgrade. It's designed to be a seamless lift and shift using a single command, NZ migrate. So just like many of our customers have done so in the past on their own, moving from one generation of Netezza to another, moving to Netezza Performance Server will be extremely straightforward using a single command upgrade. So I've seen customers being able to do this upgrade from legacy Netezza over to Performance Server in a single weekend. I've seen other customers who have done POCs with Netezza Performance Server, and they are able to roll into production within a couple of weeks. So some of our customers I know may be considering other choices like Snowflake, Yellowbrick, AWS, and they'll very quickly realize that even though these solutions may be Postgres-based derivatives, they're not going to get that 100% Netezza compatibility and risk avoidance that Netezza Performance Server is offering. So with any other technology, there will be a migration effort, which intrinsically means there will be a lot of change, there will be complexity, there will be time and resources involved, and certainly it'll be a much riskier thing to do. And Tony, as you can imagine, given the climate that we're in today, a lot of the customers that I've been talking to are simply no longer comfortable with taking these risks anymore.
Yeah, that's very true. The economic climate has drastically changed over the last few months, and understandably so. Many of our clients may not be in the same financial position as they were a few months ago, and they're looking to scale back on the new investments. Now, if I were a client and say I had a mixture of different generations of Netezza appliances, will I be able to just replace the ones that are reaching end of support? Will the Mako appliances, which aren't going out of support yet, work well with my Netezza Performance Server?
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. So Netezza Performance Server has that cross-generational support that you just mentioned, meaning as a customer, you don't have to rip and replace everything, and you can very easily augment your current legacy Netezza environment with Netezza Performance Server, and all of these systems will be able to work very well together with no issue. So this is no different than what our customers have always been doing with their older generation Netezza. So with their twin fins and stripers, whenever the newer generation appliance comes out, they will retire their older legacy systems into supporting roles and then bring in the new box as their production. And you can do the exact same thing with Netezza Performance Server.
Well, that's pretty neat. So, what are some of the other key features or improvements with Netezza Performance Server that our clients should really know about?
Yeah, I'll summarize in a few key points. So it is still Netezza, so still MPP, still FPGA driven, just like legacy Netezza is. One thing that you'll notice that's different is we've upgraded from 32 to 64-bit, giving it better drives interoperability. So that really helps us with giving a lift in concurrency management as well. Another important change that we've made is we continue to adopt what is latest and newest in the hardware market. So this is actually our ninth hardware refresh with Netezza Performance Server. Most notably different now is with Netezza Performance Server, we have SSD storage and NVMe's. And this upgrade essentially removes that I/O bottleneck, which traditionally was an issue in the older generation Netezza. So with all of these improvements, our customers are actually now seeing much, much faster performance.
Yeah, and that's great to hear about all these performance improvements. From what I understand for Netezza, performance has always been and will remain to be a key driver for Netezza customers who are very loyal to the Netezza brand because it's so well known and well loved for being blazing fast. What else around performance can you share with us?
Yeah, so when compared to Mako's, which is the latest generation of the legacy Netezza line, Netezza Performance Server is about 3 times the speed when compared rack for rack with a full rack Mako. But what's key to note is that it is 3 times faster while at 1/5 of the footprint of a full rack Mako. So now it only takes up about 20% of the tile space that I used to require. So we're talking about much less consumption being needed from a power cooling perspective, but it comes with a lot more performance now. And when compared to the even older generation Netezza appliances like twin fins and stripers, our customers are seeing even more dramatic improvements of around 5 to 8 times faster in Netezza Performance Server.
Yeah, that's significant. So let's change a little bit here on some of these questions. Let's talk a little bit about architecture for a bit. Does Netezza Performance Server have the exact same architecture as Netezza? And should our clients be expecting the same appliance form factor?
That's another fantastic question, Tony. So, yeah, as you can imagine, the market and our customers' needs have changed a lot since the early Netezza days, and we can't really expect the same machine to be satisfying what our customers are requiring to be successful. So the new generation Netezza Performance Server now actually sits within IBM Cloud Pak for Data, which is the fully integrated cloud native data and AI platform that is built on Red Hat OpenShift. What we didn't want to do is we didn't want to create yet another single purpose machine. So in this new architecture, aside from using NPS for data warehousing, our customers can now also take advantage of a very broad set of data and AI services, tap into many other use cases outside of data warehousing on this platform. We've also dramatically improved our, once upon a time, very rigid appliance form factor. Now, Tony, if you remember back in the day with Netezza, if you outgrow the existing system, let's say, you have a 2 rack and you now need to go to a 4 rack system, you would have to buy an entire new 4 rack. We would ship it in, we put it next to your 2 rack. You have to load the data, synchronize the data, an extremely cumbersome process for you to expand into that 4 rack, right? So now with Performance Server, we have a very extensible architecture in the sense that it would allow true incremental growth. So as you're growing, instead of replacing that entire big honking machine, you can expand in small increments by ordering and sliding in more expansion enclosures in your rack as you grow. So it is truly a modular scale out expansion architecture that is designed for incremental growth.
That's great. And I'm sure a lot of clients will welcome this new extensible hardware architecture, but what if I'm a client who is moving to the cloud and I just don't want another appliance?
Yeah, and that's a very valid comment. So, of course, a lot of the customers that we are talking to and working with, they've all started looking at moving some, if not all, of their applications out to the cloud. And our development team has been hard at work on this. So now, not only do we have this next generation Netezza Performance Server, which is on-prem, we're also working on launching its cloud twin, Netezza on Cloud. So this offering is officially launched next Friday on June 19th. And it is a highly automated hosted service on cloud. At launch, it will be supported on either IBM Cloud or AWS to start, with other IaaS support to come later on in the year. So just like its on-prem counterpart, Netezza on Cloud, it runs on Netezza. It is fully compatible with Netezza. And a lot of our customers who have bought the on-prem form factor or are buying the Netezza Performance Server system today, we would be able to recognize their investment with us today. And we would be able to take that Cloud Pak for Data software license entitlement and port those VPCs over to cloud whenever we want to move to cloud in the future. So what that means is our customers will really have the ability to truly deploy on any form factor, and they would be able to migrate in either a hybrid fashion if they want to, or be fully production on the cloud if they so choose.
Hey, Carmen, thanks so much tonight for that. That was a great overview of Netezza Performance Server. And I think everybody that will listen to this will get a lot out of it and use it for refresher and things like that. So once again, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. So, Tony, I know next week is your turn to run the podcast. What topic are you planning on covering?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about, the new DB2 version 11.5.4 with codename Nebula. So even though the announcement date is until June 30th, I thought that'd be a good topic to kind of give a little teaser to the folks, get people a little bit warmed up on the topic.
Awesome. That sounds good. Thank you, Tony. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Carmen.